The country right now is at a very interesting time, right? There are people, which is South African people, they are saying illegal immigrants must leave and the government must enforce the laws of the country. Luckily in my building we have one of these trolleys, otherwise I was going to struggle to take this to my room and up the elevator. Oh, I'm going to break something. Conveniently, my phone was at 1% when I was filming. With that being said, I think let me just show you what I bought. Before I do that, I have to say at the beginning of the year, I really truly lived like a rich kid. And also the first 5 months of my life here in Stellenbosch, have been the best time of my university life, including University of Johannesburg. Because at UJ, I didn't really get to do all these fun social activities, right? I was just a miserable broke student. Okay, not necessarily miserable, but I didn't get to go to restaurants with classmates and do all the fun stuff that I got to do this year. But then now back to reality, because I don't really have money, So I wanted to show you, you can get some stuff at a very cheap price, even at Stellenbosch. But obviously you have to go to the uncool shops. Uncool. Because that is where the broke students like me go to shop. Let me explain this one. So this is my breakfast. Movite, right? And then what happened recently, I bought 4 of these, 2 vanilla flavors and 1 banana flavor. I only ate it 2 times, guys. I'm kidding you not, and I had to throw it away because it did not have taste. I don't know if that is how they do Movite now, but it just didn't have taste. And mind you, this is a banana flavored one. So I was kind of disappointed, because this is the cereal of my choice. Not of my choice, cereal of my brokenness. Because that is why I'm eating it, because I can't afford the alternatives. And then that is why I bought this. It's kind of to add taste. So I'm just going to taste it and see how it tastes like with honey. It's my first time buying honey, So it should be an interesting one. Also, that is why I bought this for a change. Because usually I buy Movite. That was just that. Now you may be asking, why did I buy food? First of all, I'm a human being, so I need to eat. And also I needed to buy some groceries, alright? Today the date, what is the date today? Today is the 27th of June 2026, right? 28, 29, 30. We're left with 3 days before we get a national movement. So here is the story. The country right now is at a very interesting time, right? There are people, which is South African people, they are saying illegal immigrants must leave and the government must enforce the laws of the country, right? And then there's a big divisions. Other people are calling this movement xenophobic. Other people are saying this is about time, because the government has been sitting for quite some time with an influx of people coming from other countries and being in the country illegally and undocumented. Now, this is not unique to South Africa, because we are seeing globally, especially in the European nations, UK to be specific, they have the same issue with undocumented immigrants, right? that happen to be black. So here in South Africa, they are calling it xenophobia, Afrophobia. Now, without me getting political, I'm not going to say anything about that one. But then we had a similar situation. In fact, we had similar situations in the country. I think around 2008, that one was very deadly. That one was actually okay. I said I'm not going to comment on the xenophobia part, and that one was deadly around 2008 because it resulted into a death of foreign nationals by South African nationals. And then around 2001, but that one was a different incident, But then there was a national looting, especially in KZN, right? Where people looted the shops. Basically, looting is me going to a shop, you say, for instance, and then just take everything without paying for it and vandalizing everything. Now, when that happens, if you loot a food store, people are not going to be able to buy food, right? And there are possibilities, for people to hijack this movement, which is on the 30th of June. Because the 30th of June basically was put into place by one of the leaders of these marches, which is Pagelum Tagat.
Let's talk about the 30th. What's the plan for the 30th of June? What should we be expecting? I do wish I could stay till then, but I can't.
The 30th of June, once again, it was a date that was announced by Pagelum Tagat, right? He gave it as a cut-off date for all people who are in the country legally to self-deport and go home. Because our government, when we spoke to them, they said that deportation is very expensive. This is what they said. Deportation is very expensive. We can't afford to deport all these people, and therefore that's why it's taking so long. So I believe that when he said that, it was a motivation for people to go to their country and leave the country, obviously, because they know they're not in the country legally. And then when we saw the dates like gaining momentum, everyone is talking about it and they're aligning into March and March. Obviously now we're getting worried, like, okay, because what is going on? What is this about the 30th of June that everyone is talking about? So he tried to explain it, to say that it's not an event, it's not a holocaust like people are trying to make it out to be. It's just a day that we've seen.
Well, it's been presented, and the way people have received it is a day of program. A day when people.
I know.
Is it not that?
No.
It's just going to be a date.
As much and much, like I said, we saw the dates is getting out of hand because people have expectations that some of them are going to go out there and do crazy business.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, I've seen videos of somebody sharpening an axe, saying the 30th
and
of
the
June.
government has warned them against that, right?
Well, what's warning going to do?
I don't know, because honestly, I kind of, you see, that's what I'm trying to say. We didn't announce the 30th of June. We are now trying to just put the situation together, right? So that there's no people running around acting crazy. But at least when we gathered in one place, we can have a march, and there's police and there's security. We can manage that.
Are you going to march on the 30th?
We'll have to. We don't have a choice. Because if we don't march, people are going to start doing crazy things like the one you just said.
Right.
That's the problem. Because now everyone associates the 30th of June with March and March.
Yes.
And if we decide to sit back and not do anything and say, we're not going to do anything, what is the government doing?
Why don't you say
they're having press
we will have our march on the 1st of July or the 5th of July? Please do not do anything on the 30th of June.
Oh, they're not going to listen to that. They're not going to listen to that. Because the 30th of June has been...
It's taken on a life of its own.
Even by government, right? Even government, even the international world is now talking about this 30th of June as if like... Then I said to... Like I even said to the government, the problem is the communication of the government. Because why are you creating fear? Like people must just be scared. If you are scared, for example, let's say if they felt like we are scaring people, why not call us? You understand? Call us and say, guys, the 30th of June, what is going on? Yabo, how do we mitigate the situation? Let's sit together. How do we fix it? You know what I mean? Don't go onto public platforms and keep saying, oh no, we are ready. We've got this much police. We've got this. It's adding to the fear. I I was saying that.
So yeah, now I was afraid that if I wait for that day to come without me having food here, I might struggle if things go south, if people decide to loot all the shops. You know, I mean, like, I'm in Stellenbosch, but yes, things do happen. Actually, I even covered some of the protests that was happening, I think a week ago. Yeah, it was last week. I covered a protest. Obvious, these are peaceful protests so far, but then there are people with other intentions that may hijack these movements, you know, and hijack not hijack, and then start looting. So that is kind of the concern. Yeah, I think we're living in interesting times. If it were for me, I wouldn't want this to happen, you know. But then again, I don't want to be political about this entire thing. So I'll just leave it like this, and then we shall see what is going to happen on the 30th of June. But I hope nothing bad happens. And also the hotspots is Western Cape, it's KZN and Gauteng, you know, because those are kind of the hotspots. And in particular in Western Cape, Cape Town, Durban in KZN, and then Johannesburg in Gauteng. So I'm looking forward to what is going to happen, and I'm not looking forward to if things go south. But yeah, that is kind of it.